although I'm not sure. Do I want to stay live? This is an experiment. I Let's just say I'm going on a trip. Okay. The real heads out there will know what I mean. Do I really want? I don't know. So I thought I'd film it. I don't know if I'm even gonna talk the whole time. I had an idea for a live stream that I want to do where I just live stream my entire day. Maybe I'll do this tomorrow. No matter what I'm doing, typically when I live stream, I'm doing like talking piece, but I don't know if that's what this is gonna be. I'm just trying this. This is I got my ticket about, I don't know, what, 15, 20 minutes ago, probably. Sometime a little after 5. What time is it? Yeah, maybe 20 half hour ago. So this is just kind of an experiment to track. And I don't know, is psychobabble, am I addicted to talking in my regular frame of mind? Am I going to even be coherent or whatnot when I'm, will it be entertaining? I mean, I think THC kind of drives overanalyzation, which I love. It's my favorite thing. I'm not sure what Lucy is gonna influence us to do. I'll probably stream for 2 hours and then people start watching at the end. I don't know. I want to use this. Ooh, what the fuck? This tower's all lighting up and shit now. Hold on, let me get a shot of this. Look at that. Isn't that fancy as fuck? I don't know. Maybe I'll just experiment with some shit on the live stream. It doesn't necessarily have to be a talking exercise. We can keep it visual. We can make it kind of more experimental. We can try some shit. We don't have to even talk necessarily. Just connect. Just put your pupil up close to mine, Crash into me, like Dave Matthews Band says. Well, that's kind of interesting. I mean, this is kind of a experimental film right here, It's like avant-garde technique. I like it. This is... Should I read some poetry, man? Maybe I should. I mean, I probably should, right? It's been a while. Let me read some fucking poetry. It's just, if the live stream, it doesn't even fucking matter, because you can just live stream forever. And so, feel free to experiment, feel free to try different things. Puddings. Eat some puddings. I got a New York style cheesecake from Trader Joe's for $7.50 today. And I'm thrilled with my choice. I'm thrilled with my life choices today. And the guy at the dollar pizza store yesterday asked me if I was famous. He asked me if I was an actor on a TV show or something. He's like, "You're an actor?" I'm like, "Not really, kinda." And he's like, "You're on TV." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm on public access." He didn't really know what that was. Kind of, But people keep... people keep thinking I'm famous. So hopefully that, that will be like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Maybe, I don't know. I need to just be able to live in a house. So I feel like my best chance of being able to afford to do that, I don't seem to... I'm not going to get a job. I'm not going back to that hell. That's a hell. I'm not going to live in that hell. I won't live in that hell. Okay? I won't live in it. Okay? I won't go to the fucking office. I'm a creative. I'm an artist. I spent 10 years skinning my ass, sleeping on a fucking bed of nails to be a fucking artist. And I'm ready to cash in, baby. I'm ready to get fucking paid like Gene Hackman. Gene Hackman's first roles, he was voted least likely to succeed in his class at Pasadena Playhouse. He got the worst score ever of anybody at Pasadena Playhouse. And so I feel probably that's what I am in poetry. You know, I guess Dustin Hoffman and Gene Hackman both. were terrible. They were terrible. And now look at us. We're in Ishtar, baby. We're too hip for the room. We're too hip for the room. I'm ready to do my Charles Grodin on Saturday Night Live with Martin Short. I need to get Martin Short to reprise his Clifford role. That's like my life dream. I need to get on SNL with my Charles Grodin and my Jim Belushi impressions. They're gonna take this country by storm. Clifford. Marty, we need call Marty. I mean, he's hot again, right? He's hot. Show business is funny like that. Sometimes you're hot, you know? You got to be able to catch those waves. You got to be able to create that kind of heat. You understand? This is my acting class, okay? I'm an acting guru. Listen to me. I will teach you how to be a fucking star, okay? I will make you a fucking star. No, I'm just kidding. Mellow out, everybody, okay? I am not Charles Manson. I am not Charles Manson. Okay? I am not Charles Manson. Do you understand? Do you understand? Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Do you understand? Meditation. LCD screens. Rolex watches. When you're making a considerable watch purchase, okay, you want to think about your timepiece. Is it waterproof? Is it the Hiroshima clock? Is it backed up with... I don't even fucking know. I'm not a watch person. Fuck watches. Fuck time. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. It's the banks. It's the robber barons quantifying your fucking nudity. Quantifying your divinity, your divine essence, which should be free. The energy should be exploding as chains and bursting as shackles. Okay? Your energy, let your love surround you. I think peace and love, right? Peace and love, everybody. Here we are, we're live. We're just alive. That's what all this is about, you know? The operative word in live stream being live. We are alive, and mistakes were made, okay? Look at that beautiful building. What the fuck? Is that because I did acid? Is that why they're doing that to the building? Am I imagining that, or is that real? We are in a simulation. I guess I whacked my brains out on lysergic dithalidomide, but that I'm hallucinating. That building is like a fucking, it looks like a watermelon at the top. It's beautiful, I mean, wow. I wonder what that's all about. Is it going to stay that way? I mean, this is my home. That building wasn't even fucking here when I moved in. Do you believe that? That's progress, people. See, that's the 21st century right there. This is the 20th century. This is the Hudson Yards. It's the the AI, the sans serif, the monstrosity. I mean, CGI, empty, capital, it's liquid, sleek. Rich people have too much fucking power. It's Rococo. It's fucking Rococo out there. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Maybe I'll just do a little like behavior jam. Oh god. I feel like, what do I owe you people? What the fuck do I owe you on this live stream? Click the like button, okay? And maybe we'll talk. Okay? Then maybe I'll do some of your favorite comedy bits that I do. Maybe I'll do my Jim Belushi impression that loves America. Jim fucking Belushi party on a Wednesday night, baby. It's according to Jim. We're watching back to back to back to back to back. Thank you for the like, whoever that is out there. If that's Kiwi Mountain, you know, or if that's one of my estranged colleagues, the people that don't want to join the cult, I don't care. This cult is gonna smash fucking humanity, okay? We're taking over the planet. The global village is ours. We are gonna save people with poetry, okay? Because AI is gonna be writing all the articles. AI is gonna start Gawker for the third time. And Gawker will be AI. And the stalker will be the AI surveilling our locations through GPS and reporting it to the drones in the cornfields, in the harvest fields, in the cream of wheat patches, and the Waffle House silos, and the amber waves of cocaine, and the methadone clinics, and the Hardee's and the Carl's Jr. restaurants, and the Love truck stops, and the beef jerkies, and Hershey, Pennsylvania's, and M&M, 8 Mile, spitting in your French fries, and winning Grammys with Elton John. Rebuilding. We're rebuilding America. We're rebuilding Detroit. We're rebuilding and manufacturing this company. I'm running for president of this company. Vote for me, okay? I will save this fucking industrial rape of the most beautiful fucking fertile breast of a country on this fucked up planet. The planet is beautiful. America is like an infection of white trash, and we're being run by super landlords and they're merging with computers. And we'll be extra fucked if we don't live stream our balls off and just live stream consciousness. Everybody, hey everybody, boom, boom, boom. Here's information. Here's bullshit detector. Here's here's golden light, golden light, golden light, golden energy. Expand your consciousness. Blow your art out. Chord changes. Melodic ideas. Art classes. Burlesque dance. You hear about OnlyFans too much. Is it over? What's the fuck? What's going on with OnlyFans, man? This is my fan. You're my only fan, apparently, whoever you are. Russia, Islam, Japan, Madagascar, Pikachu, Fiji, Bolivia, Sri Lanka. We are stopping the mass shootings. We're stopping the candygrams. We're stopping the Pez dispensers. We're stopping the lollipop guilds. Okay, the 4-H clubs, the Kiwanis clubs, Laurel and Hardy silent film revival festivals, Lon Chaney Jr. impersonators, Sheikh of Arabi, President of Egypt, Qatar, Bahrain, the Persian Gulf, the Israel-Palestinian conflict, Barbara Streisand Yenta, juggling fire and chainsaws. We are an entertainment fucking conglomerate to meet your every need, and we're driving diesel trucks full of orgasms right into your backyard, Buster. And somebody's got to put me in a Meatballs reboot, okay? I'm the camp counselor of Gen Z. I will teach these fucking kids how to be divine ponies and unicorns, and we will prance the enchanted forests eternally through crystal petrified wonderlands of canyons of images of ourselves. It's all poetry all the time, okay? It's all fucking sexual energy. Children could be created right now. We could make a child, okay? The government wants to stop you from having fucking children right now. But our children would be a powerful army of geniuses that would not overthrow the government, but would organically renovate it, reimagine it, and just, just let the walls fall. Just let they fall where they may. Let the bygones be bygones, religious Christ lovers. I mean, come on in. The water is fine. We're doing natural. We're natural. We're meditating. We're eating healthy. We're walking. We're reciting. Oh my God. Music. Sweetest music. Church music. It's church every Monday, okay? It's fucking church. This is a flock. Okay? A cult is an insulting word. It's like media slang slander, okay? It's not a cult. There's no cult happening, okay? If there's a cult, it's a cult of yourself. You believe in yourself. No one's saying, hey, it's about what I am telling you. It's about you finding the message within, the kingdom within the chakras, okay? The energy of the chakras, like a fountain of golden light, just semening up, surging up from the balls, okay? I don't mean to be crude. But that's life. That is the essence of pomegranates and palm trees and coconuts and the wide world of sports and water slides and wacky, what are those slides that are like you put them in your yard and they're like, they have water and you just slide on it, but it's flat and it's in your house? That thing. I never experienced that joy as a child, okay? I love water skiing. I go water skiing as much as I possibly can, which is never. But I'd do it if you asked me, because I'm good at it. I'm surprisingly good at water skiing, guys. That's my admission of the day. You wouldn't expect it looking at me, but I'm kind of good at it. I mean, I can't do any flips or any fucking shit. I'm using fucking old-ass water skis, big wooden ones from like the 40s. They've been water skiing for centuries, okay? Hawaiians were water skiing thousands of years. For thousands of fucking years, they've been water skiing, okay? Aliens were water skiing in the fucking Mayan temples, okay? The government doesn't want you to know it. Yeah, and you're leaving because you can't handle the fucking truth, okay? You can't handle the most interesting fucking truth you've ever seen, and YouTube will probably even ban this fucking video. YouTube will just be like, no. This is too much fucking raw, confidential, classified documents, okay? I've got the classified documents in my garage. The FBI has been searching the premises, okay? I've got a lot of classified documents. I've got the nuclear codes around here someplace, laying around. I've got the nuclear codes. I forget where the fuck I put them. Fuck. They're probably under some of this shit. I don't know. They're probably under, like, this sandwich or something. But I got the nuclear codes, don't worry. They're safe. They're around here some fucking place. And I've got some classified information about the JFK assassination and 9/11, of course. Bush was droning. He had a drone. Bush was flying the plane. Okay? Bush was flying the plane. That's why he was the president. This sick fuck. When he was with those little kids and shit in that elementary school reading to them, that was bullshit. The real Bush died on 9/11, but then they replaced him with the... It's all fucking smoke and mirrors, man. You can't believe anything anymore. I like Jimmy Carter. I'm going to vote for him twice. The inflation is done, baby. Biden bucks. I'm living Biden high. I think Biden is the greatest president of my lifetime. Other than Clinton, my two favorites. My boy Bill Clinton, sending me checks annually. It was great. I love the 90s. And politics, just stay the fuck out of our lives, okay? Make our lives as easy as possible. Take money. There should be Robin Hood tax code. Rob from the rich, give to the poor. Rob from the rich, give to the poor. And when I am president of LSD, we're gonna just take Bezos' fucking smile right off his goddamn Lex Luthor ass face. These guys are tacky supervillains. They're cheesy. Fucking Elon Musk's Twitter picture is a picture of him photoshopping on the Iron Man armor. Like, dude, you're not Tony Stark. You're a white supremacist Nepo baby who made a bunch of money in South Africa exploiting not white people. You're a colonizer. You're a fuckboy colonizer. And I hope you get killed by one of your self-driving cars. I hope the super truck fucking eats you alive. Okay, I hope the AI becomes sentient and Twitter comes to life and fucks you to death. With 4,000 characters, you son of a bitch! Because I'm sick of seeing you every fucking day on the newspaper. All of you are is a brand. It's all Nazi branding bullshit. We live in a branding nightmare. So brand your fucking ass off. Matt Proctor, Matt Proctor, Matt Proctor, Matt Proctor. Look at my brand. Look at my brand. Look at the branding. It's strong. Buddy Holly glasses. I've got the kind of like 50s like greaser, kind of like, you know, Danny Zuko, you know, fucking Grease, Broadway musical thing, curl. The branding. We've got the beatnik stripes, a la Jonathan Richman or Picasso, but with the pink to kind of make it gay for the 21st century, because I'm gay, everybody. I'm here to admit it. I've done acid and I just seen the light. I'm gay. I'm a... No, I'm not. I wish I would. I don't wish I mean, fuck. Oh, God. You can't even joke about anything. It's so unfair. Anyway, we'll just keep going. I got my hard drives here. I've got my books here. I'm going to do a little painting for everyone. I'm going to do some Bob Ross weather patterns here, if you can imagine. This is the face of Jesus in the bricks. You can see it's the vagina of Christ. It's the bussy of Christ. No, I've been hanging around with derelict degenerates too much. I need to hang out with some intellectuals and some professors, okay? Some people with tenure and grants. People who've won grants. They're my friends. They blurbed my poetry collection. Okay? I'm being blurbed by super blurbs. I'm not bitter. I don't give a fuck. I'm free. I'm the freest motherfucker alive. I've been free for 10 years. Okay? I do absolutely everything I want if people will join me. But even if they don't, I do it anyway. That's why I walk around constantly just absorbing the sunlight and listening to ambient noise. just whatever I hear. Here's a New York exercise for all my poet groupies out there and cult members, all right? Welcome to the Matt Proctor cult. Here we are. I'm joking, of course. Here's a good New York school exercise, okay? You go out in a public place, a counter, ideally some kind of working class location where there's multiple conversations in different languages, maybe a bus. A bus, honestly, is the best place to write in New York City because you have mobile scenery, you're seeing New York, but you're seeing it on the street, and you're hearing crazy fucking conversations from everywhere. It's just a total confluence. It's just a rainstorm of just all these different dialects and thoughts. And so you get in a central location where there's tons of shit happening at once, foreign languages, and you just you cram it all together. You just pick the word from here, pick this guy said this, and then boom, it goes all together. And if you don't understand what the foreign language is, you phonetically translate it, or you write down what you think you said. It's just about contorting it and tweaking it and torquing it and torquing into bounce, into making that shit funky and have that. It's like a bend in the note. You know what I mean? Like in. You know, just doing that is kind of enough. So you take the fucking thing the person said and you go, and then you have real New York school poetry, ladies and gentlemen. That's a technique I learned from, God knows, some kind of esoteric library. I learned everything I know from books. Nobody taught me shit. Other than community theater actors in Columbus, Ohio, and musicians, garage rock musicians, blues musicians, boomers, 60 hippie boomer musicians from Columbus, Ohio, okay? They taught me every fucking thing I know. Willie Phoenix, my poet, Shakespeare, he's our Shakespeare. Willie Phoenix is the closest thing we have to fucking Shakespeare right now. They should put all of his fucking music in the Smithsonian. It should be required listening. But Dave Marsh and the people at fucking Rolling Stone magazine, they want to suppress Willie Phoenix. They don't want you to listen to him, okay? Because he's too fucking working class, and it'll just be too dangerous for people to think, oh, I can do this. Or, I mean, I think that's one of the beautiful things about music is that the idea is you take it and you do it and you get together with your friends and you get some magic potions and you get your concoctions and then you feel the vibrations, and it's holy when you're like bees humming and buzzing in the hive together. That's what it's all about. We're dromedaries and we're just shaking. The house is rocking. The dromedary's knocking, baby. Ow! Sorry. I'm in we came from blues, classic rock land, okay? Blue collar, major league movies. Charlie Sheen, Tom Berenger, Wesley Snipes, Coach Lou Brown, the funniest man of all time. Born to Lose, losing phenomenally, losing artistically, losing miraculously, but winning miraculously. Sometimes it's scary to win. I mean, it's kind of nice just being able to do whatever the fuck you want and being able to mind your own business and not have a bunch of people bothering you or expecting anything. But I'm ready for big success in a nice apartment. I want to live on Sutton Place like Johnny Carson. It's my goal for 23. I'm ready for a $6 million apartment. I'm ready to sign a big development deal, okay? I'm ready for CIA and the super agents. I need Mike Ovitz on the line. Get me Ovitz, okay? Get me Jeffrey Katzenberg right fucking now. Alright, I'm gonna eat this fucking guy for lunch. I don't care what the fucking neighbors think. Okay? We are liberated from bullshit. And we're not going back to jobs are okay. Jobs are great for everybody. I love jobs. I work all the time. I work with people. It's my passion. Okay? Going out shaking hands, meeting people, learning about them, listening to the stories of the people of this land, walking the earth, hearing the common folk, the whispers emanating, okay? Isn't it magic? These lungs, this heart, this brain, this throat. We just accordion that shit into these little messages. They're like these little fucking squeeze boxes or rubber duckies. Just wah, 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 wah. Here's my fucking message. Help me, goddammit. Emergency. Or, hey, isn't this cool? Oh, they turned the lights off on my building. These sons of bitches. Let me call him. Hey, what the fuck? Eric Adams. I think Eric Adams is a shit mayor. We have a shit mayor, and he hates poor people. He loves landlords. That's the New York we live in. But I think it's going to change. I'm ready to go back to Ed Koch, New York. Or Mayor Lindsay. Or even Abe. There was a guy named Abe. Whoever that guy was. Let's go back to that. Or LaGuardia. I think LaGuardia is my hero. Fiorello. The little flower. I think I have to run for mayor of New York. Eventually. Like that's... We'll just run it like the open mic. I'll run on my track record. I'm sorry. I have other things in my life too. Okay? System Lord was last night. You know, I'm a professional videographer. I'm always filming things, sort of. I'm on public access TV. And I spend a lot of time alone, just enjoying the gentle proceedings. I just like watching, you know, seeing what's up, seeing who's out there, what's going on, what's the new thing, what's the hot thing this season, everybody? Is it these perverted book club readings? I think it's our energy. I think our energy, the world needs a burst of energy. Like, our culture is so style forward and kind of, Instagram has kind of cloaked everybody in this kind of like performative, like VIP status where they're just like, oh, here's me, you know, being paparazzi'd to death by my followers. When we need, it's the video revolution and it's the live hologram in person. We're streaming, everyone is connected, okay? You come to the live stream and you be with me in the moment and you watch. I mean, I'm streaming two things at once right now. The open mic from Monday is streaming concurrently alongside this. I can't even believe the miracle of YouTube. They're even allowing this. It's the Matt Proctor Festival of the Arts continues. I know we've done a lot. I hope people have been paying attention, but there really has. I've been trying to be a little more low key about it. But we did, you know, the two open mics. I had, you know, the reading at the house. I did a number of live streams that were kind of like events. I did some screenings. I've premiered a number of things on YouTube that you may have been enjoying at home, you know, in the cold, in the winter season. You're looking for content. You're looking to binge. Look no further. Get right here on the Scenes from a Life YouTube channel, and we have all the binge you could possibly want. Get enveloped in the content, okay? Just like you go into my show and you live in New York. You are living my life. You are being John Malkovich, okay? You are being John Malkovich. Except it's me. It's not John Malkovich. It's me. So, you know, let's get some water. What do you say? Let's take a little trip. This is kind of new for our live stream. We don't typically ever do things like this. This is a little behind the scenes look at everybody and how the magic happens. So here we are in the kitchen. We're just going to... I bought a cheesecake today, as I mentioned, for $7.50. It was the greatest decision of my life. Treat yourself, okay? It's never too late, and it's always too late because it's later than you think. And so we're all going to die, and you're going to die soon. So be responsible, but also do what the fuck? I mean, you just want your life to be full of richness and understanding. To me, understanding adds the, I don't know. That's the point of life, is to just talk about it. To talk about it, to think about it, to sit there, to look at it, to absorb it, to enjoy it, to drink it in. You know, working's good. Working on your fucking books, publishing other people, working in the publishing industry, farming, hoeing, tilling, growing beans, watering the plants, feeding the dogs, milking the cows, eating the chickens, barbecuing the pork, marinating the beef, julienning the carrots, darning the socks, pickling the cabbage, bottling the salsa, composting. I guess recycling is all bullshit. I've been hearing that one. I don't know. I want to be the millennial Bill Maher, okay? Not because I like Bill Maher, but just because he's rich and there's like, who's going to do that? No one's doing that. Okay, new rule. I'm a fucking prick. I'll work on my Bill Maher. I'll come back. I mean, let me just do bad impersonations. I think bad impersonations are liberating. You know, we're so worried about doing good impersonations and being hung up on that. It's like, just do your fucking shitty impersonation and be funny about it. And that's my advice to comedians. I've got a lot of advice for actors and comedians out there. I'm something of a guru. I'm something of a theater... I'm like the Stanislavski. This is Strasbourg, okay? You are inside the method. Because we've taken it further. We are living the method. This is the 21st century, and the method is 24/7. The method is streaming always, because the performance is the brand of the self. And your method acting, your poetry, that's what I do. I get up on stage. It's a script that I've written containing all of the lines and all of the stage directions. Do you hear me? You can't handle the fucking method. You understand? Jack Nicholson thought his mother was his sister was his mom, and his mom was his sister or something. I don't remember. His grandma, he thought his grandparents were his parents, and his sister was his mom. He thought his mom was his sister. No wonder Chinatown. Jack. He's a writer. He came up with The Shining. Some of the scenes about writing. You see how my teeth are fucked up? That is the wages of being an artist. That is the wages of poetry. Okay? You get that funky bacteria in your mouth, and you get all that authenticity. You see all that authenticity? And all that shit is like a gumbo. It's like a stew. You get that rocking for a couple decades, and that's where the poetry comes from, okay? That makes your magic speech tongue elongate. And shower pixie dust across the galaxies. The planet is not big enough. We need to talk to the furthest reaches of the alien brothers and sisters and non-binary sibling types. You know, there's just no limit to creativity, I guess. I mean, who cares? But just creativity is natural. Growth is natural. Plants grow, fruit grows. Look at California. Just how it's exploding with color, fecund flora, fauna, life, bounteous, beautiful life. That is natural. It's natural for things to team and for them to grow, foster, fruit. It's natural for things to bear fruit and for us to harvest the fruit. The fruit needs to be harvested, okay? We need to be milked. We need catharsis. The juice must run down the leg. It must happen. That is how life slides all over itself and becomes honey. And just a big sticky mess. It's just a big sticky, icky. And we stick together, okay? It's not pretty. We're like hating each other. We're like these certain things pull against each other. And it's that pulling that locks us tighter because we can't get apart. We're still pulling. But we're locked in because our personalities are fucking thick as thieves. And this life matters just as much as any other. We are heroes for all time. Just like all times are all times. All heroes exist always. There are always bohemians, outsiders, adventurers, raconteurs, vagabonds, escapees, romantics, poets, mimes, philosophers, bon vivants, painters, envelopers, environmental. It's about being environmental. That's what people don't understand, okay? We are trying to be environmental. We're not just trying to linear this shit, okay? You go into the video, and the video is around you always. You wake up and you put it on. You don't have to really devote all your attention to it. It's like Fassbender. You make a mini series every fucking day. I make a 10-hour mini series every day of my life. That is the commitment to epic poetry that I have. Every day, 10 novels, 10-part series. How are you ever going to do anything if you don't commit that kind of work? Work, labor. I don't know. Maybe I should work harder. Should we not make fun of work? Work is life, and we love it. Wow, this has been quite a 43 minutes. Don't you think? Maybe not. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. I mean, we're trying to do what we can with the limited means that we have. You know, no budget, okay? I'm no budget. I've literally spent no money on anything I've ever done, okay? I get by on food and being able to sleep in a house and brushing my teeth. And that's basically all I spend money on, other than paper. Okay? I live on paper, but now live streaming has sort of become my paper. You know, video and YouTube and live shows, other people. Other people can become your book that you write. Or like, you know, when you're telling your friend your life story, that's as much work as you put into a fucking novel. Thank you for doing that. That's so nice. That's what people should be doing. Fuck. I mean, be an artist, talk to people, tell as many people your story as you can. But who gives a? I mean, just do it all. Live in a beautiful place with nice walls. That's key. You gotta have nice, like, I mean, it's not just about the trappings. The trappings are important, though. Okay, and the brand deck and the vision board of driven society we have in the 21st century, having a cohesion to your performance appearance is like a lot of the believability. But it's amazing how many Johnny Depp like troubadours there are. I feel like everybody is like some Johnny Depp actor, guitar player, acoustic, with big, I don't know, maybe that's over. What is the 2020s feel like it's more about leather, big leather jackets, but like 70s turtlenecks. Indie sleaze, right? Coming back. Pete Doherty, Johnny Knoxville. Maybe not. I bought 4 cans of soup today. All the same kind. Organic lentil vegetable soup. Feels important to mention that. This is what powers the live streams, people. If I were not drinking the lentil soup, the live stream would just die. It would just the power would go out. I mean, this is a different kind of live stream. The trip is beginning to take effect, I suppose. I guess I'm about an hour in. Who knows? Maybe my tolerance is built up because it was only 1 week ago that I did this. But I'm expecting it to feel great, probably. Or whatever, it is what it is. You know, it's always nice to have sex on acid. And it's actually kind of hard to be on acid and not be able to have sex. Because you're just like, oh, God. It would feel good. It would feel pretty good right now. It would feel very good. Anyone? Okay, should we move into another room? I don't know. I don't really live stream in the kitchen ever. But I feel like I should talk about... Oh, I wanted to read some of my shit. Let me get my notebook. I'll be right back, everybody. Enjoy. Just enjoy the drone. Maybe it's a dying... I think the stand-up comedy thing is dying. I think it's dying. But it's also weirdly... I don't know. Maybe that's just because the New York Times gets everything when it's up too late. The New York Times is like constantly writing these articles about stand-up comedy and how important it is and shit, but... Oh, shit. Okay. 2-1 logic board for Joseph Cotton. I want to discover a new way of reading poetry. It frustrates me that every time I go out and read poetry, I get locked into these kind of like boring, like, just like you settle into this cadence. You just have this like rote cadence that's like, oh, okay, this is whatever. This is how I read poetry. I'd like to get more individual, like Jeff Beck. You know, I was watching a bunch of Jeff Beck. If you watch that guy's expression, he's able to put a lot of contour into just a little thing. Rather than just, you know, running through it sort of blindly. I really do need to like recap. I did that thing on Sunday. I hosted that poetry thing. It went well, but I think the audience was not ready for my 21st century power. Okay, so this is called Logic Board for Joseph Cotton. Logic Board for Joseph Cotton. I'm taking back my power. 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 Oh, God. Rotated audio, orange hue. Sorry blanket, picket summer. Late for strawberry conviction. Lemon meringue cake, vanilla frosting. Eagles in the playoffs, about to feel great. So that I wrote right before I started tripping. Trucking, man. Collecting precipices up against the trees. Whatever's closer to Thorazine. Witch deck. Painted over Blondie with bad brains. Emergency Division Service. Lil Abner Watercress Kahuna. Book of Cash. Constant trigger, including my phone. Help. Speed velocity. Burst primary FICA court. Chauffeur money reason. Grind set. Pull me cot lop. Sicked on the 9 that exists. Tore down the steel L. Torn down the steel L. I'd like to work with Michael J. Fox. I saw a picture of Michael J. Fox. I'd like to work with Michael J. Fox. Torn down the steel L. Consorting over Harold Norris. JCC Marlene Center, Upper West Side, Manhattan. A beacon called out of revolvers. Don't overthink it. Bird's eye view telephone. 5 days after arriving in the city, he met and held summit with his hero in the muddy, cold fields of Brighton Beach in East Orange. Getting punched at school, spanking Steve Harvey on the ass. Stay away from my plagiarism, which you then took for me thinking in machines. The term paper generated by prediction falls in your hand, talking out of your neck. Millimeter fire, just sold his last bag, have to come back tomorrow. The second verse is dedicated to the first. Pray for Batman and Robin, the privy spacemen with no place to live, roller skating in a buffalo herd, caught red-handed, wastes of fragile Cava police on, not looking to be seen, bombs raining down around them as children, Plymouth Cava Hiracha to everybody now buckling. Worry and sadness bolts me down, family bringing him groceries, mom lives blocks away, worked hard to enjoy it with doctor business. She goes away singing the Isleys, listening to WOR AM radio. Tom Verlaine died in this neighborhood after a short illness, browsing outdoors the racks at the Strand. I'm too old to meet my heroes. Jacuzzi booths rain electricity, a ceremony of voltage charging through the exoskeleton of the cottage. Can't help it, I look like him who decided to contraband the strudels. The trumpets blast, knocking me to my knees. 1 + 1, I found a chlorophyll economy. Food was the only money, shelter and heat were their own munificence. Knew I should have brought that charger. My gut is a milk instance. Birthdays are embarrassing. Teleportation coffins ship me in transit sarcophagi. Women talking between cars, do not lean on door. All passengers, exit omnes. Next to nothing, blew off my party. I'd like to get to know you. Mark Harmon, apostate bubble bath. Yonder, the undergun. Must we sacrifice one in disbelief? Stolen valor. Late era refusnik. When there's two Jews, there's three opinions. That's something that Ed said. Not something that I said. Here's a little something that I read at the fucking thing on Sunday. The sound quality was so fucking bad that we should have tested it before I went up there, but I'm pretty sure nobody could even understand what the fuck I was saying. Not that that matters. It's probably better if you can't, but in any case, this I wrote on January 28, 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with Artie Garfunkel. Mike Groden is probably terrible too. I don't fucking care. Nobody else even does Groden. Okay. Life animals falling apart, falling asleep. They know not what they do. Triptych orange turtle newspaper. Dozing off, no one to impress, only in it for the ID truss. I'm only in it for the ID truss. That was something that was incidental to my life situation that nobody else probably gives a fuck about or knows what the fuck I'm saying at all. As I live stream pathetically into the void. Did I leave my Jeters wrapped in strawberry, dipped in keef? Tomorrow lecture Gen Z on tambourine life. Or words to that effect. Red exit, neither one showed up. Blueberry red wine, the family vineyard, squashing the grapes with our feet. Talking up a storm before they anglicized it. A miscarriage of justice. Spanking cafeterias, set up to fail, doomed to succeed. Pulling over to get gas all along the West Side Highway, car washes, warehouses, and garages. Greta and Caitlin each bought a book for $10, wild on the Omnicord, calling from Memphis, Holiday Inn, long distance information. Could host a workshop in your living room, but it's already too late. Ready for hours of quiet meditation in the study. Go figure. Can I get famous for this? Just make me famous for this. I'm already doing it. I don't know how to do anything else. Cast me. Spielberg, put me in some fucking movie or something. Somebody put me in a fucking movie. I'm such a fucking star, obviously. I mean, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I mean, if the fucking pizza guy wasn't telling me this... It's like, how come you're not a casting agent? What the fuck are you doing here... The 99-cent pizza place at 1:30 a.m. Rendering Comprehension. It's not a bad title, don't you think? Life animals falling apart, falling asleep. That's a pretty good intro. All right, here's a poem I wrote on my birthday. And I wrote it while I was talking to my dad on the phone. So it has some things that he said. Okay, I like quoting people. It's part of my love. Okay, my job is loving life. And loving my loved ones and my friends and commemorating them through memorable plates. The big fish eat the little fish. Little magazines, small clubs, pilot lights. He spit on Grimace. Okay, so the big fish eat the little fish. This is something my dad said on the phone. The big fish eat the little fish. I was just saying, like, why is there not... I don't know, more interesting, why is, we have a lot, there's just a lot of, I can't go into it, I'm too loosey-goosey right now, but maybe I'll eat the rest of this Chipotle burrito. Do we have any Chipotle fans out there? I mean, I don't need to do any product placement or anything, but I'm like 90% Chipotle. It's practically all I eat in the Isle of Manhattan. Well, this was part of, like, what's happened in New York is it's just become corporate America, like everywhere. And that's what this fucking poem is about. The big fish eat the little fish, right? Chipotle, Home Depot, they eat up the little hardware store in the neighborhood or the little burrito spot. The big fish eat the little fish. And so part of the message here being become a big fish. And living in Manhattan, thinking about the things I'm thinking about, Frank Sinatra, Madison Square Garden, Johnny Carson, The Tonight Show, Rockefeller, this kind of iconography, this kind of Manhattan, big time, Broadway, Al Jolson, 42nd Street. That kind of energy is kind of like we're trying to go for that kind of scale. We're trying to become the biggest fish in the fucking world. We're trying to, and why not? We have the talent. We have the juice. We have the looks. We're ready. We have the education. We have the vision, the individuality. We're not just chasing the same scrotum. Psychonauting. Psychonauting is some kind of psychedelic tripping thing. I'm not exactly sure what psychonauting is because I'm not actually that cool. I hear things from people I know. I write them down, I guess. That's part of my job, I think, as a poet, which people seem to be accusing me of more and more recently. I tried for so long to get people to call me a poet. Now these people are just, brandizing me with that name or branding me with that. But the poet, I think, is just you're processing things into oral regurgitation, messagery, whatever. But part of I like whatever sticks to me. My brain is like a pincushion. Certain things stick. Psychonauting. I never heard that before. That sounded like some kind of cool new thing that the kids are into. I usually get to that shit about 6 months too late, but whatever. I've never been subscribed. I'm not an insider. I was told about sex by David Evans on a loading dock when I was 8 years old. That's how information travels, okay? In the dark ages. We're basically Neanderthals on a loading dock with candles. We just came out of the 20th century. Think about that. When I was learning about sex in 1991, or I guess I was probably 3 or 4, somewhere in there, there was no internet pornography. You barely even saw, like, Playboy. That was like being fucking monkeys. We were basically primates. And we become supercomputers. Or I don't, they've had automatons since like the 1700s. Supposedly they have some kind of AI that's like one of those like chess machines, that's like Zoltar or whatever from like the 1700s that can like do all the shit that. Well, that's not exactly true. Is ChatGPT going to take our jobs? I don't fucking think so. ChatGPT can't do this. I think ChatGPT is going to be writing all the bullshit articles. Who cares? Fuck the prose. Let the AI write the prose, okay? The poetry will always belong to the flesh and blood because we suffer. We yearn. We do not get what we want. We suffer. We're vulnerable. We're tender. We hurt. Everything hurts us. We're sensitive to what our friends say, to what people tell us in bars and in public, to every little fucking blow of the wind could just knock us over and bruise our fucking souls forever. And so we're humans and we will poetry forever. We will never fucking stop. It's the oldest thing and it's the newest thing and it will go on forever. And I wouldn't want to be anywhere else, involved with anybody else. We are in the heart of the core of the English language. We are doing God's work, blowing the shit up into entertainment and into show business and into pop status. We want to reach everybody on the fucking planet with our poetry, not just a bunch of dickheads in colleges, okay? I want to talk to people in fucking Spain and Portugal and fucking Antarctica and fucking New Zealand and Tasmania and Easter Island and Cuba and Windsor, Ontario. I'd like to do a gig in Buffalo or Montreal. I've never been to Montreal. I've sacrificed 10 years of traveling to be in the city and have no money just so I could churn out my little sunflower seeds. Just so I could chew my little sunflower seeds, psychonauting with my little cult of personality. Little magazines, small clubs, right? Little magazines. Little magazines. This is something that the NEA and this country should put on blast. We should be very proud because the lifeblood and the real culture of this fucking land in the world really is little magazines and small clubs. It's open mics, it's cabarets, it's people just bringing their little 2 songs they've worked on in their garage or whatever, on their garage band, on their Mac computers, or whatever the fuck they're using, some kind of weird PC tweaked out. Everybody's cooler than me, okay? I use iMovie. The tools are a means to an end, okay? Give me a fucking tuba, I'll make you a fucking masterpiece. Little magazines, small clubs. I love small clubs, right? Is there anything better than having 50 fucking people in a small room, like, concentrating on what you're doing? There's nothing more magic, I don't think. You know? If you had 10,000 people, that's not the same. That's not, like, fair. Little magazines, small clubs. That's where the work gets done to blow up to these bigger things. You know what I mean? It's not that far from East 4th Street, La Mama, or one of these off-Broadway places to the Oscars and to Oscar Gold and to immortality. You got to learn it. You got to stride the fucking boards, okay? I'm an acting guru. Listen to me. This is the Matt Proctor technique, all right? Fucking write your fucking poem. You got a line. Boom, you write it down. You record it. You say it. You make it into content. Immediately. You don't wait around. You don't need to package anything, okay? It's about the product is you. The product is you shining through. And you let your soul shine through. And make your poetry good. You know, make it funny and modern. Don't do a bunch of classical. It's too pity me and miserable, and I don't want to hear a bunch of slow fucking miserable shit. I want to party and have a great time, and Rabelaisian, Chaucer. This is the Canterbury Tales, baby. We're pilgrims. We're here convening in Murder in the Cathedral or whatever. So the big fish eat the little fish. So we're trying to become big fish here. We're trying to become Carson. We need NBC. We need a job at 30 Rock, okay? That is the power that we need to harness with our, I think MSNBC should put me on. I think they should fire Chris Hayes or whatever the fuck that guy's name is, or Lawrence O'Donnell. Give me an hour a night on liberal talk news. Okay? I'll do what Keith Olbermann did. We'll have poetry. We'll have songwriters. We'll have a roundtable intellectual discussion like they did in the old days. TV used to have dignity. In New York, when NBC was started, you could tell they took seriously their role as a part of the superpower or whatever. Not that we look at that fondly now, and perhaps we shouldn't, but for whatever, there it was. They were a part of the New Deal, almost. And you could tell they upheld their sort of democratic left-wing, Rockefeller Center, is he liberal, right? Isn't he liberal? But, they used to have William F. Buckley, or, they'd have a fucking round table of intellectuals. They'd have James Baldwin on TV or whatever. What happened to that? Put me on MSNBC. We'll do the Dick Cavett show, okay? You have Donnie Deutsch on. Or maybe that was the 2000s. But We put us on, okay? Just give us an hour to curate. We will change this fucking country because these cable news, god damn. Apparently the whole crux of our society is fucking cable news channels. Fox News controls it. Rupert Murdoch, this son of a bitch. Okay. Rain sandwich. I wrote this when I was on acid. Let me talk about this. First come, first serve. I wrote this last week. Fuck the Sun. Lon Chaney, Phantom of the Opera. It would have been more meaningful if there was subtext. Dante was a hedgehog. Shakespeare is a fox. What do you think about that? Should we pause there for a second? Dante was a hedgehog. Shakespeare is a fox. Crowd surf 40 pulls apart technical resistance. Long extra cordage. Photographic drum sets up the rampart wave. Wearing a lot of hats. From the window I bent the headline. Bought soap and toilet paper. Endless song I was writing. Strange standing face to face. I can't tell if this is sarcastic or not. Chewing acid, water damaged. Gotta get off these wet streets. Wish that was a blizzard. Ray Davies, poet laureate. Where did all the British bands practice if they didn't have garages? Let's make money from partying. Back to work and partying, keeping things moving. Nothing but a good time. People they have so much pain in their lives. The thing about America, you work hard and you party hard, okay? It's 50-50. You work full-time, and it's sort of in the agreement. If you want to be conditioned to survive in this fucked up, this society will just grind you physically to death. It will kill you. This country is designed to fucking kill you and turn you into meat. We are processed. Grade A. Here's your MFA. You're Brooklyn College. You learn this poetry. Here's you in the fucking package that we put at the fucking bookstore. Meat. This is Chateaubriand. This cow was treated a life of sex and ease and drugs. This cow was just fed champagne all day and given blowjobs by their cows. And just never even had to walk anywhere, just laid on its side its whole life, getting fed foie gras, getting its dick sucked. And that's the Chateaubriand. That's the fillet of the fillet. That's the finest cut you can possibly have. That's if you went to Iowa, I guess. Or, I don't know. Iowa's pretty cool, actually. I like people who went to Iowa. They're generally okay. Except Daniel Popick. I'm just going to talk shit about everybody because they don't even care who I am. I'm persona non grata. They all suck. I don't know. I think I don't even read poetry. I think I'm a gossip columnist. I'm the Walter Winchell, Ed Sullivan, Hedda Hopper, Cindy Adams. Somebody needs to do that. We need to be in the core of the furnace here. We are in system core here. And we were designed to bring this message to our civilization. No one else can handle it, frankly. We've been tempered by the long, hard years of setbacks and failure. Could you even call it failure? I guess just they didn't want the future. They weren't ready for it. They see it coming and they're I want to be a part of this, but I've got a job and I'm supposed to make these rational decisions, and so I can't really hire this person, but something is happening and you don't know what it is. It's called art, okay? That's what you're supposed to do in New York, okay? You're supposed to come here and walk around West 4th Street and Bleecker and write your little play or your little Ramona, come closer, shed softly your watery eyes. The pangs of your sadness will vanish as your senses will rise. Your cracked country lips I still long to kiss, so as to be by the strength of your skin. Your magnetic movements still capture the minutes I'm in. I've heard it said many times that you're better than no one, and no one is better than you. Well, if you really believe that, you'd have nothing to win and nothing to lose. I mean, people really want to get to this song, man. Leonard Cohen, man. Like, he lived in the fucking Chelsea Hotel. Nico. It wasn't the same place though, you know, so you can't really compare. This is my Rear Window film. This is my Hitchcock Rear Window stream. Is this not entertaining to you? You motherfucks. What happened to this? Huh? It's just too heteronormative. Should I stay in this room? What room feels vibey? Okay, I guess we'll go through to 2 hours. We're deep in it, so we're 75 minutes in here, folks. If you're just joining us, we're in progress. We're live from Manhattan. This is MSNBC. I don't know if this is my best work or even good work or what's happening. I feel like my brain is an aquarium right now, and I'm just trying to harness that energy. Check this little disco going out right here. My neighbors. This is the Spying on My Neighbors live stream. Just kidding. I mean, we're in New York. These are the richest fucking people on planet Earth. Okay? Who do you think? This fucking townhouse right here, they completely gut renovated, the bastards. That was Ashbury's building. He watches me every day. I love Ashbury. Ashbury, you know I'm the motherfucker. You motherfucking know it. I met you. Ashbury signed my diary. He laughed. He thought I was a rogue. He could tell I was fucking Francois Villon. He could tell I was fucking Francois Villon. He could tell I'm fucking young Arthur. Young Arthur. Look at this. This is the crime of the century, me even living in this fucking apartment. We're winning. We're beating the landlords. We've been beating the landlords for a long time, actually. You know, that's the most important spiritual struggle of our time is us versus the landlords. And they should have no sympathy whatsoever because there's one of them and there's like literally thousands of us. And it's people like Trump. It's the worst fucking people. They have no... They're the white supremacists. Anybody that says, I own this piece of land and you have to pay me for it, they are the white supremacists. They are the colonialists. Okay? They're the imperializers. They're still perpetrating this lie in this crime, which is stolen land. Okay? It's bullshit. Private ownership is... It's... Come on, you rich motherfuckers. If you wanted to slaughter, this would be the place to go. I'm not saying, I mean, I shouldn't say that on my live stream, but like, these mass shooters are really not thinking through. Like, if you're going to devote your life to killing a bunch of people, get the most out of it you possibly can. Think about how you're going to do the most good. You know, like if you're going to, you know, that's a big sacrifice. So, you know, if you're going to do that, how sick is our fucking society that this is like a regular thing? There are just like these old white guys. I guess they're not all white, but it's zombie decay and over-violence. We have a culture full of zombies because they're not offered anything real. Everything is work and numb your consciousness as much as you possibly can to be just like a slug. So we can feed you and use that cow gun on you. The Anton Sugar cow gun. And then eat your fat ass. Feed your fat ass to the. That's just life, I guess, that's nature. We eat each other. We eat everything. We eat the plants, the insects eat things unspeakable. But that is how everybody's in their own thing. Whatever you're into, you regenerate it and you bring it to the community swap meet of existence. And you bring your little fucking poetry, or maybe you're good at like with tractors or something. I'm trying to think about my friend Keith Center. Okay, I was on the golf team with Keith Center in high school. I think he was a freshman when I was a senior. I want to make a show about the golf team. I think the golf van, that would be an excellent Netflix show. They've never really done that. I mean, Caddyshack, sort of, but if they did like a high school golf team show, because there's a lot of conversation. Golf is very conversational, and it's class. There's a lot of... it's a battleground. It wouldn't be about preps. It'd be about working class JV. It'd be about the dirt track, and kind of the Muni kids, the poor kids who play golf, and the kind of Scottish bardic tradition of Old Tom Morris and all that bullshit. I don't know. It's a part of my upbringing. I don't know if it teaches you anything good, but it's meditative and it's solitary, right? It's almost like being in the Prelude or something. Being on the golf course is very much like being in a Wordsworth. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they designed golf courses sort of around the Prelude, because it feels like the Prelude. Fairways, the Long Meadow at Prospect Park, the Vale of Cashmere, that all feels like the Prelude to me. Maybe that's because that's English Gardens or some shit, I don't know, but golf is just a crime and tremendously bad for our society. I guess it's just weird that my family are we just like the liberal wing of the imperialists and the despots? We're autocrats, but we're like the Dennis Kucinich. We're like the Willie Nelson, legalize what ethanol fuel. We're like the extreme Jimmy Carter wing. We're the Green Party, of autocrats and dictators. I want to be the Ralph Nader. Why can't Ralph Nader just be like supreme? Well, he wouldn't be good at it, but I think that I have to become a politician. I think that reading poetry in public is like the best training you could possibly have to be a politician. Because you're just learning how to like sell like high-flown rhetoric to roomfuls of people. And, ideally our president would be a poet, because all they fucking do is walk around and meet people and give speeches and have ideas. That's what I would do if I was president. I'd walk around, I'd talk to everybody, and I just talk to people and be like, okay, what do you need? Okay, let's do this. I'd never sit at a fucking computer and write anything down. I'd have people for that. And you would just travel through the energy of the masses. There are 8 billion people alive. There are way more people alive now than there were even 60 years ago. There were half as many people alive. I think that does dilute the quality. That's why there's so much bad music and kind of just like generic Johnny Depp acoustic guitar players. Like, what the fuck? Why are there so many Johnny Depp guitar player comedians? Why are there so many, like, These comedians just want to tell people what to do. They think they have it all figured out because in their own heads it seems that way. But they're not really funny, I don't think. I meet very few comedians that are funny. Maybe like a fifth of them like are funny in a healthy way, in a way that like should be foisted upon like the masses as some kind of like commercial enterprise. You know, this is just the society where we live in. You have to come to New York. You have to become a big fish. You got to become King Kong or Tom Verlaine or Richard Hell or Thurston Moore or Lee Ronaldo or whoever the fuck. You have to make something out of yourself, little froggy. Okay? You got to churn that motherfucking boiling water until it's cheese or whatever the fucking thing is. You know, like get those little legs flapping. And my Gen Z friends are all about it. God bless them. I wish I had the advantages they had. I was not really in New York until I was 25 or 26, and I had to pull myself up on my own. Well, they work at Soup and Salad and or Just for Juice and shit. Woo! That would suck ass. But if you're living in Morningside Heights and you work at Just for Juice or whatever the fuck it is, you're doing pretty good. Doing poppers and just like going to all the hip, you know, that's, you're not missing out. You know, you want to talk about FOMO. You are in it. You know, we're in the Bret Easton Ellis novel of 2023. We're writing it, you know. I mean, I guess. Who's cooler than us? Nobody. I don't think there are better writers. Okay? I know everybody. I know everybody who's out there. I see it all. I've got nothing but time on my hands. I've devoted my adult life to just being in the center of, you know, whatever, the supposed cultural capital of the decaying century. Here I am eating on the foreskin of the yesterday's corpse. I'm sorry. It's New York. It's gross, you know? Maybe that's yesterday. We do have to reflect the here and now, but we live in like this like very sanitized, scrubbed society, but there's all this misery and death. So it doesn't look quite the same. You know, New York is not quite the, it's like a Hieronymus Bosch in like a Chase ATM lobby. New York is just like a big Chase ATM lobby. I don't think we realize it could be a bunch of dollhouses and like interesting immigrant restaurants and shops and handmade things and poetry bookstores and coffee houses and record stores, and there's a lot of vintage clothing. That's a big part of the economy, you know. We're just birds, you know. We're just cycling different fabrics through the nest, trying on new patterns. And I'm at the point in my trip where my body is feeling like it's kind of dissolving. Although, like, my trip doesn't feel maybe quite as insane as last week. I guess that's to be expected. It was only 7 days ago, ladies and gentlemen, that I was out in the pouring rain, experiencing God, eating God by the leg, which I recommend you all to do. I mean, are people across the country just eating God by the leg? I'm guessing they probably are. They're certainly not tuning into this fucking broadcast, but they're the ones that are missing out. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Yeah. I mean, this is all I want out of life. Sincerely. I don't ask for anything more. Just don't kick me out on the street. Don't make me live on the fucking street. Just let me continue to do this, okay? We are a cultural linchpin for the human race. It's important that we are in New York and we are in Manhattan. Specifically, there is no culture, there's no entry point for a common person in downtown New York. right? Because all these fucking spoiled brats are okay with their unpaid internships and their parents paying their rent and shit. And I say, no, I'm a working class motherfucker, all right? I worked at Straight and Garter Center. And we are going to give outsiders a chance. We are going to give poor people a chance in this fucking destroyer where the rich people just dine on foie gras. It's just overpriced, man. These restaurants are not any good. You go to these shithole places and like Nomad. I've been to plenty of restaurants with my rich bosses on the expense account because that's how our fucking society works, okay? This whole broadcast has just been a big truth marathon, okay? And will be being studied for the ages to come. We're delivering these messages on high from golden eternity. And what was I talking about? Something really important. Fuck. I lost it. Oh, there just needs to be an entry point downtown, right? For regular... Well, I don't know. Everything's on the internet now. Everybody's got followers and shit. Look, nobody's following me. So why even fucking continue this charade? You know, but the pizza guy thinks I'm famous. Is that just because I pretend that I'm famous and I live stream? He can feel the aura of the self-documentation and having a crowd of sycophants that you've cultivated and mercilessly curated to uphold your delusions of grandeur and your Messiah complex, frankly. We are all Messiah. That's the fucking point. Everybody meditate. Everybody look into yourself, okay? They've miseducated us, but the potential is still there. The goodness of the human is within, you know? And so let's foster that seed and make it grow and be golden. And, you know, things could very easily thrive if just the owners of everything just left us alone. Like the pandemic proved that. As soon as they just fled, you know, that's what happened in New York. Literally all of the Goldman Sachs people and all of the finance people, all of the Big Ten school business major people were like, fuck, let's go back to mom and dad's house in Pennsylvania or whatever. Because the plague is here, and I'm just going to go be on Zoom, and I'm going to binge watch everything on fucking live stream. Or, you know, I don't even have a content provider. I don't watch Disney Plus. I don't watch Star Wars shit. I don't watch the MCU shit. Okay, that's who should live in this fucking apartment. Not some scumbag tech monster. Okay, those are the people that have pirated our whole... They're the pirates, okay? We are the makers. We are the dreamers of dreams. And we are the mirth makers. And we are the tune dreamers, okay? And it's a long road to get in touch with that. But poems are real, and you can make them. And they're songs, and they're drawings, and it's all the same. It's all just divine flow from the hand to the soil, to the earth, from my clay to your clay, from my kiss and blood to yours. Semen is a daily part of my routine, and probably yours too. I mean, women have periods, they're bleeding everywhere. I mean, God, not to sound like a fake feminist or anything. Well, I am a feminist, but like the term has become so, like, obviously everybody, you know, has been on that, you know, campaign for, and as they should, but it's become like, right, like the girl boss shit. You know, we live in a big H&M Forever. It's not even Forever 21. It's H&M and uh, you know, when you walk around New York, you see these big palaces of corporate fashion. That's the European. That's the empire. What else do we do? We dress ourselves. We smell good. We try to adorn ourselves so we'll get, you know, the mates we're after, and, you know, ideally some kind of stable family thing, so we can pass on whatever the DNA. I guess, does that matter? It's important to some people. Others are disqualified, I guess. Maybe not disqualified, but I feel great. I feel phenomenally great. I do feel obligated to do 2 hours. We're 24 minutes away. People have stopped watching. Should I read some poems or talk about some books? I mean, they have been guides in living. I think, I guess all artists are. With poetry, there's like a stripped down quality, and you can really kind of dole out the experience. Although, you know, it's weird because one of the reasons why I do so much YouTube stuff and the live stream and stuff is it does feel like our phones have become books almost. Or like, you know, like the book as like a portable media device that like you kind of have ownership over. You open the book whenever you want. You open on the train, you read it sort of at your pace. That kind of personal, confidential, you know, that is different than, you know, watching a DVD, you know, how I consume mass media, right? Big concerts or whatever. There's something about poetry that the way that you make it as well is obviously very immediate and like close to, you don't need resources at all. You write a word, that is the resource, you know, that is your budget. But then you start to realize, well, the poetics itself, the cost of making the poem, to have the time to distill this whole fucking ingestion, you know, the human centipede of just like, being force fed everything we see. And what am I going to do when I have to move, man? I really can't. I can't even imagine. I, like, this is the ultimate apartment. I mean, the reason why I have to get rich and famous is just so I can live in a better place. Like, I have to go up. I can't go down. Like, it just has to work that way. I know that I'm, like, just saying that to try to convince myself, but should I read some more poetry to kind of keep me tethered to something real? I can't tell if this is just... Should I do some kind of clown thing? Honestly, I mean, the greatest performances I ever saw were, like, my dad's storytelling, you know, or what I'd love to do, my dream guest, I'd love to have my dad play at the open mic, just play his bass by himself. Because watching my dad just play non-verbally, he can sit there and play the bass for hours. And it's entertaining in the true sense of the word. You know, you sit there, you're charmed, you laugh, you're amazed at the talent, the technical ability, you know, hearing all the specific notes and shit. I tend to gloss things over, I guess. I wonder if my poetry is too general. I try to be as specific as I possibly can be. But Ashley had some new pieces on Hobart today that were excellent. I loved Abortion Bitch and Post Algonquin in particular were excellent. You know, I think I'll just leave a bunch of ragged, scattered, tattered documents. You know, I live practically like in rags already. I've lived like I've been in rags for basically since I moved to New York. It's felt that way. You know, you're able to set up kind of temporary little like, okay, I've got all my stuff in one place, you know, for a little while, but you know it's not going to last. You know some kind of lease bullshit is going to come up, some kind of white man landlord shit, and you're going to have to move on the Trail of Tears. Not to appropriate, you know, obviously it's not, but it would just be so easy to fix. Be so easy to fix all of it. The pandemic, you know, that's why you need to watch the city life videos. It might not seem like there's anything happening, but that was the point. The way I was living for that 2 years is probably like as close to like as they were living 20,000 years ago as anybody has come. Like to not have a job and to just have all of society kind of suspended. Like we were living like villagers. And it could be that way again. These stockholders, they all live here. They all live right here. Blocks away. You know, or they fly in and then they fly wherever the fuck they go. I mean, I live here. You know, I do, for better or for worse, I have spent, you know, my adulthood amongst the concrete and blocks and streets of New York. The crossroads. It's, you know, of the old empires. They're all old, though, you know. And New York is as new as anything going. You know, the shit going on now is as new as anything. I guess I'm old. Is my poetry new? I'd like to get to know ya. I try to make my poetry as new as I possibly can make it. But I think in order to make it really new, I'd have to, like, really fuck it up a lot this year. Like, my poems Pink Tax and Lethal Enforcers. That's maybe a glimpse of... Those, to me, are probably, like, the most RoboCop 21st century, maybe. Accurate to the... I guess I need to do DMT, maybe. That's, like, the next... You know, I don't know. I'd like to have gotten a job on like a MTV Spring Break or I could do what fucking Chris who's that guy who hosts Walking Dead who got he got Me Too'd. The motherfucker. He sucked. He was always shit. Chris something. He was just like a generic kind of TV host. I feel like I could be that guy. You know, it's like you're not really a comedian, you're not really like an actor, you're just kind of like, but you're also maybe not like overly a game show host, you know, like Pat Sajak is a game show host, but he doesn't really, or like Tom Bergeron. These are like my models. One of my earliest childhood heroes was this guy Mark Summers, who was the host of Double Dare. And, like, when I was 4 or whatever, you know, I wanted to be the host of Double Dare. And, you know, I think this is the year that dream comes true. It's weird how this shit cycles back. You know, you think the past is, like, way over, and then things just come back, and you're like, wow. You know, like, this whole kind of game show, like the wedding DJ thing, right, has come back hard. Over the last few months. And I thought that was just like a period of my life I'd rather forget about, but lo and behold, it was my origin story. When they write the comic book. This is a comic book movie. I hope you realize. My whole everything is a comic book movie. Because that's just the medium of the age. I don't know. Like, I think it is upon us to utilize the modes of the times, you know? And so, I try to get my pamphlets out there moving. I try to get my books out there moving. The people who hear, let them hear. This girl at the open mic said she's going to maybe try to do an interview for Electric Lit. She's going to, oh, I got to text her back, by the way. Oh, we had the Dime show last night. So I've literally had 3 shows in a row, and now I'm streaming. And then my birthday was on Friday. So it's like I've had 4 shows in 5 days, which is how it should be. This is the goal. The goal is just to be booked. I'd like to do Vegas. I'd like to do some dates on the West Coast. You know, got to swing through the Bay Area soon. Got to do that whole thing. I mean, we really need to get something cooking with the media here. And I don't know that there is like mass. It's not the 60s anymore where it's like something happens on TV and all of a sudden kids all over the country do it. Who knows where those cultures, it's almost like that Channel 5 News. It's like he goes to all these music festivals and shit. There's all these, subcultures that are already out there. I don't even know if I would qualify to be a part of any of that stuff. Like, what are we? We're like neo beat is probably how people would media ties it. Once the media gets a hold of this, it's going to be like new beatnik, punk beatnik, revival poet, the new beat generation. I mean, it's just like the Great Recession or all this stuff. It's just like they're using old terminology because there is no new terminology. Uh, well, but also, I don't know. I'm not going into this with some kind of leading with a manifesto or anything. I think the point of what I've learned over the past few years is just like to exemplify things, to show by doing, right? And by getting poets talking or giving them like a fire to come to every week to like tell their story. It's a hearth. That is like as basic as it fucking gets. Monday night we gather here on East 4th and 2nd Avenue. Have they been doing for decades and eons? Emma Goldman, or I think the KGB actually has had connections in that building, or Lucky Luciani, or whoever. That's the East Village of Manhattan. There's a lot of strains of energy that go through there that are pretty prominent. Russian, like how many. This is something Zlad has mentioned recently, right? Is like he's meeting all these Russian people recently. They all speak Russian. It's amazing. It's deep. Their literary culture goes fucking deep, and their thought power. All the great chess champions, Kasparov and Karpov, and the rivalry. Right, the space race. That was all kind of intellectual, and um, teaching. You know, if you don't say it, maybe people aren't going to know it. Somebody has to say it. So that's what I'm trying to do with this stuff, just by blurting my brains out, saying as much as I possibly can. It's just like maybe something will catch with somebody and they'll go, right, yeah, I'll do that. I guess I could, I was thinking about when I was a little kid, my dad and Susan took us to, there were like, not like auditions, but like you'd go to art class on Saturdays. Saturday morning was like art school. And I didn't want to go because I would miss cartoons. I didn't want to miss Saturday morning cartoons. And I didn't want to go to CCAD. But they did like art classes for kids. And so you'd like go before the classes start to like draw, like they'd have a thing like on a Saturday where you went, like an open house, and it was like you could win a scholarship, if you were talented to their class. They probably gave most people a fucking scholarship, to be honest. But I don't know. My brother and I were we were natural artists, I think. Like that was our family, our dad is a true bohemian and an artist, like he is a musician. It's almost like living with Da Vinci or something. He thinks of himself in those terms. Like some kind of like Renaissance man and a Renaissance thinker, like he's building things and thinking about how they could design things better and, playing his lute or whatever and pondering the world socio. Oh, this is happening and the government's doing this and Ukraine and Crimea and, Turkey and this, all this shit. That's dad stuff, I guess. Master of your domain and the commander of the kind of world. Every dad secretly wants to be Churchill or whatever. Like here we are and we're in the war room and we're making the decisions that are we're Eisenhower. We've got the football. But my dad is like the greatest, funniest. I mean, probably everybody says that about their own dad. I mean, you're kind of a captive audience, but in a certain way, the lectures or the talks or his example, the way he lived, he's as much of a poet as anybody that I've seen, really, anywhere else, actually. And maybe even more so. It's just a different avenue of doing it, becoming this sort of like Columbus, Ohio, short north, or like, High Street. It's all High Street. It's the mother road. Stashes, Dick's Den, Ruby Tuesdays. He had a good thing, He had a weekly gig with his band, The Alligators, through like the late 70s, early 80s at this venue. And so with this, I've been trying to get a weekly thing forever. It's natural to the Proctors. This is our family business, okay? We're like Jester, New Orleans, kind of like Ignatius J. Riley, kind of like Harlequin, Rabelaisian, enjoying, the nightlife, stories, magic, shaman. It's real and it's in person, right? Even Avatar and shit like that is just like extending shamanism. And I don't know. I hope through this open mic or whatever, just being out here, we get connected and we're able to make stuff that is going to reach as far out as it can possibly reach. I guess that's what everybody's trying to do. I mean, literally zero people are watching this, so it's for future generations, I suppose. The archive is going to be insane. That's the point. We live in the age of archives. Bon, say bon, 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 say bon, say ba ba bon, bon, bon. And we have prosthetic memory, right? Get with it, you know? Inseminate the prosthetic memory with something good, positive, magical, reverberating, positive consciousness. Who knows? All of the people coming through that room, that's going to affect them. You know what I mean? 60 years from now, some of those people might be alive going, I remember coming to this fucking place. This fucking crazy guy hosted the open mic. You don't know. In the technotropolis of the biodome that we live in, 60 years from now, there may be, Lewis Mason might still be around playing songs and shit. I remember I used to come to the open mic. Supposedly, open mic at Music Inn's been going since 1958. And maybe longer. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, the Village, this is where it happens, man. Or it's supposed to. I mean, that's why it's important that we're here, you know. Even if we're just surrounded by rich people, you know. Even if I can get my little, like, working class, democratic, old fashioned bullshit. Carl Sandburg, motherfucking ass. Fuckboy Carl Sandburg. I want to be the millennial Vachel Lindsay. Fuckboy. Jack Michelin. These were my heroes. Coming back to New York, I had a dream of being a street poet, reading my poems on the corner of McDougal and 8th Street, and drawing a crowd and having them be enchanted and throw money. And here we are. We're bards. Hopefully we can really take this neighborhood and take this place up and maintain these cultural legacies against the fucking empire. It's weird that the mix is here, right? And everything is right on top of itself. The Bohemia and the edge, or at least it was, I guess, the underground and the ultimate, establishment. I guess that makes sense in the society. One is going to breed the other, or living here for a while, you do realize that just like it's just a fucking town, you know. It is limited at a certain point. It is finite, and like you can sort of like characterize it and wrap your mind around it. As big as New York is, it ain't that fucking big. Not anymore. There's just a lot more out there. But I also think these artistic traditions and stuff are in danger of being neglected, or there was a continuity to these lineages that these buildings and these neighborhoods were like a part of. Things, jazz, poetry, beat, Black Mountain, whatever, stuff from 100 years ago. It all flows through. Not that it's gonna stop, but it is. It does. I mean, it's been almost like it's like pouring a bunch of antibacterial or something on a wound. Like they just cleaned out the wound. You know, and that's good. But we are the germs. We like the wound. We are the gangrene. We need the. We are the infection. The artists. We kind of in this. The society is polluted. So we're actually the cure. For the infection, which is the capitalist corporate lies. That's the real infection. We're just the body going, whoa, we can't tolerate these toxins and shit. This shit is bad. We're coming to the end of our broadcast here. I guess I'll just be with you for the last 60 seconds, 66, 65. Once again, MSNBC, I don't know. Was this memorable? It was worth trying, worth doing. We have it on the record now. It's a New York experiment. Here we are. Chelsea, Manhattan, February 1st, 2023. Throwing the I Ching, chance operations. Should we do... Maybe I'll just keep it on, but I'll go do something else. Well, I want to check on my... Of course, I'm addicted to Instagram now. That's not good. Social media has become, like, my job. And so, You know, I'm really liking this book, this Joshua Beckman Animal Days. I just like the way it kind of flows down the page. There's a lot of nature in it. I think that's important. You know, like Lee Moore at my birthday party read that poem I wrote about root vegetables. That was like why she keyed into it, because it was about root vegetables. That's important. Oh God, I need a big Hollywood paycheck. Somebody, talent, talent people, whatever. Somebody. I mean, everybody's looking for that golden ticket. You know, we all think we're Charlie Bucket, and we're the righteous ones. You know, all the other kids are the rich, spoiled Europeans that represent the seven deadly sins of avarice and privilege, gluttony, spoiled. That's New York. New York is full of Augustus Gloops and Veruca Salts. That's all it is a bunch of fucking Veruca Salts. And I'm Charlie Bucket. I'm gonna have some cheesecake. And just, who knows what's next. Godspeed. You're gonna do great. I love this for you. This is only the beginning. The trap.